Hello and welcome to Decks Done Right TCG. This is another Deck Doctor presents some DBS information, trying to diagnose for you guys' entertainment what would be the best critical leader in Dragon Ball Super. Now, I actually had this discussion at my LGS with some friends of mine that play Super, and so I'm going to go over this with everybody here on YouTube so that everybody can get filled in as well. So there are technically 5 different leaders that have the ability to have crit on them. Or critical, if you will. The 5 leaders are Mira, Mass Saiyan, Vegeta the blue one, and Vegeta the red one, and then lastly, Android 13. Now, we're only going to talk about 4 of these because Android 13 is so narrow on when it can trigger its critical ability. There's no reason to really say that it's a critical leader. It's just it by chance. If it KOs a Goku, then yeah, you get the buff, but otherwise you don't get it. So it's a very, it doesn't have the ability to get it on a somewhat consistent basis, so we're not going to talk about it outside of what we already did. So first up, we're going to compare the 2 Vegetas, Vegeta Red and Vegeta Blue. So, believe it or not, they're actually very close in power level. But you come down to 2 key principles. Vegeta Red has the 5k buff, and Vegeta Blue has the ability for self-awakening. Now, there's another thing that, so with Vegeta Red, you have to pitch a card. With Vegeta Blue, you're gaining a card. So you also have card advantage versus card disadvantage. While the 5k buff is nice, it's not the deal breaker in this particular scenario. So because you have Blue giving you the advantage of self-awakening and card advantage, Vegeta Blue would get the nod over the comparison of Vegeta Blue versus Vegeta Red. Next up, we'll compare the black leaders, Mira and Mass Saiyan. Now, these are the new players to the group of cards added to the DBS game. And believe it or not, these 2 are very close. So, you have essentially card draw in Mira versus mana acceleration in Mass Saiyan. And when you look at it, card draw is nice. Yes, we're not going to downplay that. But the free value you get off of the just 1 additional over or drop zone card means that your mana acceleration is just that much better. And give you a simple scenario. Let's say you mill over 3 and then you mill over 3 again. Now you've got 6, and then you overwhelm for whatever card. Obviously, it has to be something under 6, but let's just say it's Trunks. Okay, so you're the time, I think it's Time Patrol Trunks, the one that you can look at the top 2 and then put one in your hand, put the other on top of the library. Or bottom of the library, something like that. So that's six cards that were in your drop zone now that are in the warp. Now you can super combo with your black super combo card, but in that same scenario with Mira, you only got 2 or 4 cards in your warp without doing any other comboing. So now you can't do the super combo because you don't have 5 cards in your warp. So while it is sweet to have the card draw from Mira, don't want to discount that. The mana acceleration, specifically on the front side, because we're not getting to the crit part until the back side of Mira, right? But on the front side, just looking at both of them, you can still give Mass Sand crit on the front side, which is actually still relevant because in the early game you're trying to establish yourself. So you're preventing your opponent from drawing cards while still being able to take down their life. Now, on the back side, you obviously have the permanent crit. So every time it attacks, it's got critical on the Mira side. But now you're talking about a buff versus just straight crit. Or, I'm sorry, a buff and a crit versus consistent crit. And that's pretty close too. I think Mira slightly gets the edge here because you get the consistent crit regardless. But on the front side, we got to give it to Max Saiyan because of the ability to have that extra energy. And we'll say it's energy because every card has a cost, right? We got to pay energy to play the cards. Well, all the cards that are in the warp that your cards in your hand require Overwhelm for are energy. You're spending that to pay for the card that's in your hand. So the very small edge goes to Mass Saiyan. So now we come down to what does the hierarchy look like, right? If we have all 4, because we're not going to talk about the other one. If we have all 4 on a chart, where do they fall, right? Where does the 4 different ones fall? Because what I did is I just compared the black ones with the old ones, right? Like they had their own comparison and they had their own comparison. So let's compare them now. So now we have all 4 on the table. Number 1 is Mass Saiyan, having the slight edge in energy over Mira, and then even though you're not able to self-awaken like Vegeta can, the ability to give yourself crit without having to take life and still potentially give yourself also a buff gives Mass Saiyan the edge there. So Mass Saiyan is above Mira, then it's also above Vegeta. Well, we already established that Vegeta Blue is better than Vegeta Red, and now we've established that Mass Saiyan is higher than Mira, so it goes Mass Saiyan, Mira, Vegeta Blue, and Vegeta Red. In that order. While Mira and Mass Saiyan are very strong, I think that Mass Saiyan still gets a little bit of an edge, not by much, but a little bit. That one energy matters. Think about it this way. At the end of the turn, if you had the ability to have 2 energy up or 3 energy up, what would you choose? The 3 energy, right? Of course. So, in short, this is a easier decision based on how powerful the new black cards came out to be, specifically the overwhelm cards. If the overwhelm cards weren't very good, then the energy advantage that Mira and Massan gave you would kind of even the playing field across all of them, really. But because the black cards that have overwhelm are so good, it makes the two black cards, Mira and Massan, so much better than Vegeta Blue or Vegeta Red. Now, if you choose to continue to play Vegeta Red or Vegeta Blue, more power to you. If you like a deck, you like a deck. Don't want to steer you clear, or don't want to steer you wrong. But I feel like if you want to play those decks, you're just going to be playing a better version of those decks by playing either Massan or Mira. So, thank you guys for watching, and I hope you guys have a great rest of your day.